What's up, y'all? What's up, what's up, what's up? Does it just say popular live on every single live? Like, I feel like no matter how many people are on, it always says popular live. I don't know what that's about. TikTok live honestly confuses me, like how much is just on the screen. It's wild. So I need 97,000 team points. I don't even know what that means. Y'all know what that means? I don't know. Welcome, welcome. Talking about astrology and human design as always. And like what is going on with TikTok? I feel like it's been showing me videos that are like a year old or from September wait, how long ago was that? September to now. Yeah, that's almost a year. That's insane. That's like 9 months. What is going on? Hey, Lou. Hey, y'all. What's up? We got a new moon on Thursday, early in the morning. New moon in Gemini. Have y'all been feeling the Gemini energy? I literally feel like my life is just going 100 miles a minute. Like 100 miles a minute. I'm launching course after like class after like new bundles and new things. Like there's just so much happening. Membership Q&As are thriving. Love connecting with y'all in there. Yesterday my For You page kept repeating. So weird. I've been seeing that too. Like it's like it'll show me a video that I've already reposted or that I've already liked and I'm like, what? And it's from like 9 months ago. I'm like so confused. Hey, Delilah. Libra moon, Aries sun. Ooh, you were born on a full moon, girl. That's intense. And you're ruled by the moon. Cancer rising. Oh my God. We love it. We love it. You're here to have a larger than life impact on the world around you. Hey, Lofoten. Thank y'all for liking the live. Appreciate it. TikTok is messing with our For You pages. Seriously. And then I go on my other account and I haven't trained the algorithm on that account. Like I barely use it. I think I have like 2 videos on there and anyways, I never post on there, never even go on that account. And it's just my For You page is like better over there. And I'm like, why is it better on a account that I haven't been like consistent on? I don't understand what's going on. Thanks for the likes. Ooh, Sag moon, Libra sun. I'm a Sag moon, but I'm a Libra rising and a Taurus sun. Love it, love it. Sag sun and rising, same degree. Dang, that's intense. Thanks for the follow, medium broccoli. Cancer rising too. Y'all are intuitive. You just need to embrace like your intuition and like acting on it. Because, okay, I was talking about this with my astrologer friend recently. Every time we hang out, we just vibe about astrology and it's so fun. And that's what I love about my membership Q&As too. Like it's like a Zoom room, so we get to meet live and y'all can turn on your cameras or not. But just the fact that we get to talk to each other like in a live space for an hour is so fun because we just vibe out on astrology and human design. And where was I going with that? Oh, Cancer rising. So Cancer is a cardinal water sign. So it's supposed to lead cardinal energy with water, with the emotions, with the intuition and flow. So yeah, I think a lot of Cancers, because of that water, want to shy away from that like leadership ability or like ability to act on their knowing because water wants to like, I don't know, kind of hide a little bit. But yeah, that's like the biggest lesson for y'all is to learn how to step more into what you know, your intuition, your those abilities that you have. Scorpio sun, Cap moon, Sag rising. Ooh, that's a combo. Girl, I'm hella cardinal. I'd be stressed by myself. I feel you. I have a lot of cardinal energy too. Like my Mars is an Aries, cardinal sign. My rising is Libra, cardinal sign. My midheaven is Cancer. My Neptune and Uranus are in Capricorn, cardinal sign. So I feel you. Yeah, if you believe in karma, yes. I believe in that what you believe in is true for you. Like literally whatever you believe is true is what you're going to create in your life. That's like the ultimate law of the universe. Scorpio siren looking for a Pisces prince. What? No. I'm a Taurus. I'm good. I don't need no more Pisces in my life. They come and they go, and that's, the ones I have that are doing that are fine for right now. But yeah, Gemini. Ooh, Gemini moon. What kind of plant is that? This is a different Bacchia. It's really beautiful. I love that plant so much. And then this up here is a pothos, and then I have a little Monstera over here. Did y'all know there are human design charts for plants? Is a stellium more important than the rising? I don't think anything in your chart is more important than anything else, but a stellium definitely is a big area of focus for you for sure. I just launched, y'all, Gemini season is like, makes me feel like I'm crazy. The fact that we have Mercury and Jupiter and Gemini right now together, we have the Sun and Venus and Gemini together, and the moon is about to be in Gemini, and we're about to have a new moon in Gemini. Like, there has been so much just ideas, information, energy. Like, I just launched my variables bundle, teaching you about the human design variables, like determination, environment, the deeper stuff of human design, motivation, all that kind of stuff. And then, I just saw a spider web outside. That was distracting. Gemini energy, that's what I'm talking about. And then today, I had the idea to create this like astrology crash course for those of you that like want a refresher on astrology or just want to learn the basics in a really simple way. Like it's probably like 2 hours, the course is, but it like runs you through everything in a really simple and straightforward way. And it's super affordable, less than $100. And that is in my profile. I just launched that earlier today. Like the Gemini energy is like so much being created. So much being created. Yes, 10,000% please. Yes, it's all happening. And then I'm working on another course as well. There's so much happening. Is there a way to find your rising sign without knowing your birth time? No, because that's how your rising sign is created. This is what I talk about in the crash course, like the first module is about the basics of astrology and where your chart actually comes from. So your chart comes from your rising. That's how your houses are created. And this is why I love the whole sign house system, which is something I also cover in this module, is like the different house systems. But this is why I love whole sign houses, because if I know what time you're born, I can like, and your sun sign and like your day and everything, I can in my head calculate what your rising is, because it's literally just a map of like the planets. It's literally just a map. So like if you're born around noon and you're a Cancer sun, let's say you're probably a Libra rising, because the sun was at the highest point in the sky, which is the midheaven in the chart. And so then you can deduct what the rising sign would be from that. Or an Aries. Would it be Aries? I think I just confused myself, but anyways. Yeah, so that's why your birth time is so important, because that's the sign that was on the horizon at the time of your birth, right? So it depends on like the position of the sun, which is like what time is, like where was the sun in the sky, to what your rising sign is, and that creates your whole chart, your houses and everything. You can do chart rectification on yourself, or you can contact someone in my membership just asked me about this because they didn't have a birth time for their husband, and they contacted the hospital and got a long form birth certificate, and that had the time on it. But we were literally talking about this because she was like, what other things can I do? And I was like, you can hire someone to do chart rectification, or if you know astrology, you can rectify your own chart and to find out your time, to find out what that rising is, because that, like, your life story comes from where in your chart your planets are, like what houses they're in, because the houses represent, in a practical sense, the areas of your life. So like your first house is you, your body. Your seventh house is your relationships. Your fourth house is your physical home. So if you, like, for example, have really struggled with, I don't know, like feeling supported in home, you might have your Saturn in the fourth house, something like that. And then if you know that that's like how you've existed throughout your whole life, you can deduct, okay, well, what rising sign would give Saturn that position in my chart? But it is pretty complex. So if you don't know a lot about astrology, it's helpful to hire somebody to do that if you can't contact the hospital you were born at. It's complicated to get copies when you're born in another country. Yeah. Like, I've had people too say the hospital closed down and like stuff like that. So it can get really complex, but if you're not able to contact like where you were born, then hire someone to do a chart rectification for you. I don't do chart readings. I teach astrology. I have ebooks, courses, classes, and my membership, and I just launched this astrology crash course. That's like a 5-part series teaching you the basics of astrology. We also cover the transits in there. All of that is linked to my profile, but no, I just mainly teach right now in my practice. That's the case for me. I was born in Romania. Oh, wow, yeah. How does karma show in your chart? Your south node, set your nodes. I just did a video on past lives, like literally last night. That's on my page. That's what karma is to me. It's just working through things that happened to you in your past lives. So go watch that video if you want to learn about past lives and reading your chart for that. I don't know too much about the vertex part of fortune. I've researched. It's interesting. I think they all kind of like, you can find that information in other parts of your chart too. Like at some point I feel like it's information overload, but that's just my opinion. So I haven't really dived like super deep into that stuff because I feel like it's information overload. But if it calls to you, then like look into it for sure. Virgo, Leo, Sag, please. Oh, wow. That's fun, but also like serious at the same time. Yeah, you're welcome. Sag, rising, Aries, moon. What a combo. Got a lot of fire with Virgo. That's interesting. Libra, sun, Taurus, moon. Oh my God. 2-4 generator. Oh. I am a Taurus sun, Libra rising. That's fun. Leo moon, Leo moon. Did y'all know Pisces rising is rare? So every rising sign sits on the horizon for, like every sign sits on the horizon for 2 hours, which is what your rising sign is. The sign that was on the eastern horizon at the time that you were born. This is why your birth time is so important. And Pisces sits on the horizon the least amount of time. So like I said, generally every sign sits there for 2 hours, but Pisces, I think it's only like 90 minutes or something. It's actually rare to be a Pisces rising. Manifesting generator, me too. Yay. Do you know why astrologer never talk about Aries risings? I don't know. I am just one astrologer. I don't listen to other astrologers, so I don't know. Is that why I feel like I don't belong here? Why? Because Pisces risings are rare. Are you a Pisces rising? Kazemi and beating on you right now. Venus is suffering. Yeah, I feel you. If you're a Libra or Taurus risings, anything that's going on with Venus is really going to affect you. I'm really feeling the Venus Kazemi right now. Oh my God. I feel like I've only been able to sleep. Like, my body wanted to wake up after 6 hours of sleep today. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. That's crazy. And I've just been like creating. Like, I just launched this new astrology crash course. I've just been creating like nonstop. The variables course is live, the human design variables course, and I'll be adding stuff to it this week. Putting that all together has been fun. Just working on the PowerPoint slides, working on the simplifying everything, because the variables in human design are so complex, y'all. Like, it's so complex, but I'm simplifying it for y'all. I've been working out nonstop. Nice. That reminds me, I want to go for a run today. We'll see. But it's also been really hot here, so it's made me just want to sit in the AC. And then my cycle was like 3 days late, freaked me out. Manifesting generator, me too. My Mars is in Aries. I'll fight a bitch. Scorpio risings are intense. I have so much karma with Scorpio risings, I feel like, because my North Node is there. One thing I've noticed, it's funny, I was just thinking about this last night. Scorpio risings, I've noticed, have a tendency to like want to hide themselves and not like transmute darker energy. Like they're really susceptible to like repeating patterns, staying in like stuckness. It's like cycles of melancholy, depression, just like doing things they don't really love because they're scared to like change. But that's literally y'all's biggest lesson, is like transmuting that energy and like letting yourself be seen for your like magic and your transmutative abilities. I'm a Libra rising too. Ooh, we got another Aries Mars. Yes, Ashley. Aries Mars Club. I feel like the Mars return that we just went through, let's see, I think it's still happening. Depends on what degrees your Mars is at. Mine's at 10 degrees, so it was like, it came and went last month, I think. But Mars is right now at 26 degrees, so if you have a late degree Mars in Aries or in other fire signs, you're feeling this energy still pretty intensely. It's made me like want to move my body a lot and want to just like do things. And also the like random spurts of like anger and frustration and like, no, I'm not dealing with this. We need to like address this like directness. Oh, Steven's in Aries Mars too. Yay. Whole sign all the way. Whole sign all the way. All the way, all the way. I talk about this in my astrology crash course I just launched. The different house systems, like equal versus Placidus versus whole sign. I love whole sign. And you can learn more about why in that course if you want to take it. I feel I have a complex mix. Same. Oh, we got another manifesting generator with a Libra rising. That's me too. Hey. Zero patience. Yeah, no, same. Like, this needs to happen and this needs to happen now. Hi. I'm just talking about whatever. I'm just responding to the comments, using my sacral authority to respond to what y'all saying. Ooh, Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising. Fun. I don't like scary movies. I used to when I was a kid, but no. Realizing that I'm like a psychic medium, no. No thanks. We don't need that. Manifesting generator is a type in human design. You can learn more about human design through the first link in my profile or just by going to astrologyhumandesign.com. Astrologyhumandesign.com is my website. We got a lot of manifesting generators. Oh my God. You feel like whole sign misses a lot? Well, you're valid in that opinion, but I don't agree. I was just talking about this in my membership community last night, actually, because people were asking me, like, why? I feel like I get this question the most, other than the birth time question. I get that question a lot. And it literally all tells you the same stuff. Like, I've analyzed multiple charts looking at using both house systems, my own chart using both house systems, and you can deduct the same information from either one. So it's just about like what you resonate with, what helps you connect to your intuition, because at the end of the day, astrology is an intuitive art that helps you connect to your intuition. So what is easiest for you, what feels best to you to look at and read in order to get that information, like that's your preference. Like, it's just a personal preference. Placidus has never made sense to me. It like closes off my intuition from being able to read a chart. So I don't like it. And with whole sign, I can like literally create your chart in my head and be like, oh, you're an Aries rising, so the South Node is in your 7th house right now. Like that, it just helps me to be able to do that. 2-4 generator. Hey, my mom's a 2-4. She's a manifesting generator though. Human design stuff has blown my mind. Yes, it's amazing. Now you're 30. Do you use a progress chart? I've always looked at my progress chart, like since I learned about it. I wouldn't say I do that now just because I'm 30, no. Like I've always looked at it because it's just another perspective on what's going on. I don't do birth chart readings. I teach you astrology. So I give you the tools to understand astrology in a really simple and easy way. I just launched my astrology crash course, which is in my profile link. If you scroll down, all of my like courses and classes are in my profile. But no, I don't do readings anymore. 3-5 profile. Oh, fear motivation. I love 3-5 profiles. Y'all are like so magnetic. It's insane. And you don't even realize it most of the time. If you want to learn more about the 3-5 profile and my perspective on it, get a human design report from my website, astrologyhumandesign.com. It will tell you all about your profile in great detail. It tells you everything. Motivation, environment, whether you're a specific versus non-specific manifestor, your determination, cognition, sense, view, perspective. Like it tells you everything about your chart, channels, open centers, defined centers, gates. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It literally tells you everything. But there's a list of what's included on my website where you get your human design chart, and then you can plug in your birth stuff, get your chart, get a custom report sent to your email. 6-2 generator, nice. I attract a lot of 6-2s. 6-2s really, y'all really are such a role model. Like, it's insane. Always have the best advice. Pluto in the second. I have Pluto in the second too. I feel you. Keep hearing North Node in 6th house. Consider it a negative thing. I don't know. That's not my view of astrology. My view is like, what's the highest potential of your stuff? What's like, how can you evolve? And like, my view is more evolutionary astrology. How are you meant to grow into this? What are the lessons of it? How can you align with the highest potential of this? I don't really look at like, this is really bad. No, that's not me. I'm a Sag moon. We are the blind optimists. We are like, okay, what's the best part of this? People with sun in the 12th house, yes. Make good tarot readers, yes. One of my good friends is a tarot reader and has sun in the 12th house. But it kind of depends. Their sun is in Leo. I know someone else who is a good friend with their sun in the 12th house, but they're a Scorpio, and they do like breath work and Kundalini yoga and astrology too. So it just kind of depends on what the sign is. But yeah, for sure. Anyone with placements in the 12th house are really intuitive and are really here to share their spiritual gifts with people. 8th house suns. I have a whole video on 8th house suns that you can go watch because I'm an 8th house sun, and I was realizing like, oh, we are so deep and complex, and often we feel understood by other people. So I did a whole video on that you can find. I think it's in my astrology houses playlist. I have Chiron in the 12th house. Yeah, that's a fun one. For me, it's been helpful to really learn about mental health stuff. Like, not necessarily, I mean, I did study psychology in school, and I was going to go that route, like psychology and neuroscience, but then I dropped out of college. Anyways, what really helped me to like work with my Chiron in the 12th house was practicing mindfulness, practicing gratitude, like mindfulness practices, meditation, yoga, things to really like slow down my thoughts and connect more with my body and become like the observer of my thoughts versus like letting them run my life. Some books that really helped me were The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, Michael Singer, The Surrender Experiment, Wayne Dyer. He's one of my favorite authors. He teaches on spirituality. So all of that stuff has really helped me to like work with my Chiron in the 12th house and like utilize the gifts that come from the wounds of your Chiron. Ooh, hey Brooke, we got a projector in the house. Yes, all of that is relatable. Awesome. Do astrology weekly reports affect us all the same? Definitely not. Like, there's a general way to read the energy, which is what I do in my updates every Sunday that I post on here, and that gets sent out to my email list. But like, that's just the way it's generally affecting the collective. Like, how it's going to show up for you personally depends on your chart. like the energy could be, oh, it's really chaotic, and for one person that's like, oh, well, I got in like a fender bender or whatever, and for another person that's like their roommate like went off the rails or something. You know, it's like it's gonna be different for everybody. Like nobody has the same life. Literally nobody. You don't have the same life with anybody, and that's because of your unique chart and how these things affect it on a personal level. And that's why I teach astrology and human design, to help you understand like why these things are happening in your life and correlate it to your chart, because nobody knows your life better than you do. So even when you get readings, like they can only go so deep because they only know so much about your life. As a Libra rising, do you feel people try to impose their beliefs on you? When I was younger, yeah, but I'm a Taurus sun, girl. Like, I've always been real opinionated. I've always been, like, stubborn in my opinions. Like, if someone has a valid argument for something that, like, is opposing of my opinion, I'll be like, if it makes sense to me, if it's logical, I'll be like, okay, I'll look into that and, like, sit with it. But for the most part, people have tried. Yeah, people have tried, but, like, I've always just been so steadfast with what my opinions are and my beliefs. Also, being a Sag moon, it's like, yeah, I don't take anything at face value. If it doesn't resonate, I'm like, I don't know about that. You can be the most convincing person, but if it don't feel right to me, I don't know about it. Yeah, Sag moon. Yeah, the Aries Mars too, yeah. But it's in my 7th house, so I feel like for a long time I attracted relationships that were more like Aries energy because I didn't realize like I had that in myself, you know what I mean? But now I've like integrated my Mars Aries, my Aries Mars, so it's like I have that energy more available to me without needing like other people in my life that act that way, if that makes sense. Ooh, you have a 7th house Mars too? Yeah. I feel like other people just want to like fight me for no reason sometimes. And I'm just like, okay, you can do that. You can do that. I'm just going to sit here though. I'm going to tell it like it is, but there's no point for fighting. Yeah, for literally no reason. Yeah. Like, I had someone the other day literally, oh my God, this is so Aries Mars in the 7th house. Like, they chased me down in their car because, so we were both like turning at a stoplight and they were coming from the other direction. So they were turning right. And so they were turning right at the stoplight. It was green. And I was turning from the other way, turning left. And I see them going to turn right, which they have the right of way, duh, because they're like closer to the turn. And so I like kind of slowed down a little bit just to give them like the space to turn. But then they saw me coming and they didn't turn. And they stopped like before they turned. And so I just went. I was like, okay, if you're going to stop and let me go, I'm going to turn. I'm going to make this turn. And then they were mad about it. Like, you stopped your car and let me turn. I don't understand why you're mad. They were like literally chasing me the whole like 2 or 3 stop signs. Like they chased me and I had to like pull over and just let them drive on because I was like, they were like, damn spam calls. They were like honking and flipping me off and I was just like, hi, like I don't know why you're mad. You let me turn. Like, yeah, people be crazy when you have Mars in the 7th house, especially in a fire sign. How dare you not act accordingly to their preconceived thoughts? Yeah, seriously. Like, I was like, I just hope you have a better day than you're having, because obviously you're not having a good day, and that sucks, but like, it's not my fault. Aries Sun, Stellium. Ooh, girl, with a Cancer Moon and Rising. Wow, that's quite a combo. So they all kind of square each other if they're close enough in degrees. How about I just learned about my relocation chart, y'all? Do you know about your relocation chart? It's basically like if you live in a different time zone and like, what is it, longitude or latitude? If you live completely different than where you were born, your relocation chart tells you like the energy of your chart where you live. So I just learned about this. I've been doing my progress chart with my current location for forever and ever, but like the relocation chart blew my mind because we talked about this in my membership last night, and I was like, if you don't have an easy, because calculating it on astro.com is kind of complicated. Like you can calculate it using astro.com, but sometimes figuring out their different like chart extensions, and it's just not easy to navigate. I use Astro Gold. If y'all don't know, now you know. I use Astro Gold. It's the best. It's the astrology software. The best. But anyways, your relocation chart puts your same birth information, but it like changes the time for the new time zone that you live in. So mine adjusted the time like 2 hours, and then it puts you in that location. And it will tell you like the energy of your chart where you are living now, or if you like want to move somewhere, like check your relocation chart. It will tell you a lot about like the energy that moving to that place is going to have for you. And so in my relocation chart, full circle, bringing this back, I'm a Virgo rising. And so I saw someone said they're a Virgo rising. Oh, thank you, Kate. I love you too. And I learned I'm a Virgo rising in my relocation chart. And I was like, that makes so much sense. I attract so many Virgos. People ask me all the time if I'm a Virgo. I literally get that all the fucking time. And I'm like, no, I don't have anything in Virgo. I don't know what you're all talking about. Like my Chiron's there, but I don't know how you would like pick up on that. I mean, some people can. Some people have that gift. But like people that don't know much about astrology and like, why do you think I'm a Virgo? And it's like, oh... because that's my relocation chart rising sign. Yeah. Astro Gold, it's gold. Wait, your signs can change based on location? Yeah, your rising sign, and then that will change your houses. So that will change like where planets are in your chart. So I literally also like, it will change your astrocartography. So growing up, I was born like on my Mars line, which was like, I was just faced with like bully after asshole after asshole. Like I just always had the hardest freaking time living over there. And I just like, my mind about that place is like, ugh, I hate it. I hate the South. I don't want to go back. Like, don't like it. Not for me. And it made so much sense when I moved here. I'm in Colorado. I'm on my moon line, which your moon line is where you feel at home. Like it's where you're most likely to like have roots, establish a family, a home life that you like feel really nurtured and supported, comfortable in. And yeah, it made so much sense to me. My Mars, living on my Mars line versus my moon line. Yeah. And then with my relocation chart, my Virgo rising puts my Sag moon in my 4th house, which is like on my moon line, moon in the 4th house. This is home. This is it. I moved from my Pluto line where I was traumatized to my Venus line. Oh, where do you have Venus in your chart? Are there any other lines near your Venus line where you are? Because that can affect it. Like, I don't like California, and like every time I go there, I feel like it's for the most part, depending on where I go, because it's such a big freaking place. But for the most part, if I go near where my Venus and my Saturn line are, I don't like it and I don't have a good time because my Venus and my Saturn line are close to each other in like LA and like other parts of California where I feel that energy. I don't know, people say to move to your Venus line. I don't agree with it. I think your Venus line is where you can meet people, where you can like... I don't know, I think your moon line is really... But it also depends on your chart. Like, where is your Venus? If your Venus is in the 12th house or if it's in the 8th house, it might be a little challenging. Or if... There's also aspect lines, which is really deep in astrocartography. And I have a class on astrocartography in my membership community where I talk about the aspect lines. Because if you, like, for example, you can have, like, Venus square Pluto line. If that is with your Venus line, that's going to influence how that energy is in that area for you. Positive line is over Monaco. Ooh, we love that. I'm going to France in September, and I'm so excited to be in the southern region and like maybe go to Monaco. I think I live on my Mars line. Ugh. I'm living on my moon line. Ooh, we love that. Yeah, I think my Venus line goes through, actually I know it goes through London, and it's like pretty close to Paris, and I'll be there in the fall, so we'll see how that goes. I've never been on my Venus line before, but I have loved living on the moon line for sure. I've lived in 12 to 13 places. I just want to settle. I'm done moving. I feel you. I've moved 46 times since 2008. Or is that my whole life? I can't remember. I've moved a fuck ton. I feel you. Sag moon. Sag moon. Cap sun, Taurus rising, Sag. Wait. Cap sun, Taurus moon, Sag rising. Have most planets in Capricorn. Oh, wow. Resonated with Sag. Yeah, you might have progressed stuff in Sag because, especially if your Capricorn placements are late degree, you might have, like, they might have progressed into Sagittarius. So that's why you feel that energy. My moon line goes over Rhode Island. Oh, that's fun. No, moon line doesn't have to be exactly where you're born, because I was born on my Mars line. So it just depends on your chart. Yes, moon line is home life. Yeah, I have moved a lot too. It's not the best. My moonlight goes through Hawaii. Oh my god. I lived in Hawaii for a little bit. It was fun. If you like the rain, you'll love Hawaii. My moonlight is in Alaska. Oh, that's fun. I want to go to Alaska. Can you say about living in your... I've never lived on my Saturn line. I have been to my Saturn line, and it was not super fun. Yeah. I want to check this out with traveling. Yes. Hated Paris. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't traveled too much outside the States, and I don't have... Well, actually, I have been to my Venus line. I was on my Venus line when I used to travel to British Columbia every year for skiing, and that was really fun, because Saturn... It's so weird, like, how the lines... You would think, like, BC is, like, pretty straight above California, but the lines, like, curve. So my Saturn line goes through California with my Venus line, but then only my Venus line goes through British Columbia. And I really loved British Columbia. Like, I feel like I always met people there. It was, like, a really fun time. And like I said, met a lot of people. It was really social. I have Venus and Gemini, too, though. So, like, where you have Venus is going to influence how that shows up for you. Definitely need to learn more about astrophotography. Yeah. If you're in my membership, there's a class on it that I did. My membership is where all the more advanced classes I've taught on astrology and human design live. Like, I have a class on the human design sleep chart. There's so many classes in there. It's kind of insane. But they're all on, like, advanced topics. So I cover the decans in astrology, the degrees, degree theory, asteroids, the astrology of human design, transits, secondary progressions, human design transits, synastry in astrology, and then human design compatibility, and then astrocartography. I also have a class on numerology, using that with the transits. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. And it's only $15 a month. It's kind of insane. Did I just see 5-1 reflector? Hey, Summer. Oh my god, that's so cool. I was born and live on my Mars line. Oh, wow. I did not like that, personally. But I guess it also depends on where your Mars is in your chart, right? Because mine is in Aries in the 7th house. So for me, it was a lot of, like, conflict, aggression, assholes, bullies. I was literally bullied, like, my whole life, no matter. We moved around so much. I was always in new schools, and it was the same story every time, because it was still on my Mars line. What other lines have I experienced? North Node, Chiron, Neptune, Uranus. I think all Mercury and the Sun. Mercury and the Sun lines were really fun. I think all of those that I just mentioned are in Hawaii for me, and I lived there for 9 months. Almost a year, actually. And it was a good time, but it was very chaotic. It was very healing. It was very transformative, but ultimately not somewhere I wanted to like live. And honestly, I've come back. So how do I say that? Like, I've lived on and off on my moon line for 10 years, and I always come back to it. Like, no matter how much time I spend in other places or away from this area, like, I always come back here because it just feels like home. It always has. Like, even before I visited here, I knew that this was like where I wanted to be intuitively. I was like, Colorado. But I'd like never even been here. And then, yeah, coming here, feeling that of like, this is home, this is it. And then learning in my astrocartography, like, oh, that's why. It all just makes sense. It all adds up. I've never moved, but I need to... You've never moved? That blows my mind. That blows my mind. Yeah, the Mars line is not super fun. I have not lived on my Jupiter line. My Jupiter line goes through, like, Africa. It's so random. I really want to visit Africa, like South Africa. It goes through Malawi. Malawi. But I haven't yet. I feel like following the astrocartography, there's always something, so it doesn't matter where. Yeah, totally. Ooh, A. Nicole's also got Venus and Gemini. Hey, Venus return. Yeah, I've been to a place where my sun line is. I'm pretty sure my sun line went through Hawaii. You can look at it right now, actually. Revisit my astrocartography. Oh wait, I always forget that Astro Gold will tell you your astrocartography. It's just a habit to go to astro.com. But Astro Gold will tell you, you can pull it there. Yeah, my Saturn line goes right through LA, which makes sense because I've never liked LA. Like, I cannot stand that place. Okay, yeah, so my Sun and Mercury line are pretty close to Hawaii. Oh, my Jupiter line is close to Hawaii, so I guess I have. But it's like the farthest one from it. And then Uranus, Neptune also go through there. I thought my North Node and Chiron line did too, but that might be using my design date and human design. So you can also look at that astrocartography too. You're so welcome, Steph. I gotta do longitude. That's a good reminder for me. Oh, man. Hi, Raven. Thank you. I want to visit South Africa. There's penguins there? What? No. It's like hot. Someone who has Mars in the 7th house, how do you stop yourself from going on a tantrum? Work out or journal about it? Or just go on the tantrum. Like, sometimes you just gotta get that out. Chiron line is interesting. It is. Oh, you know what it is? Yeah, it's definitely my design date that has my North Node and Chiron in Hawaii. And then I just met someone who they live in LA, but they were visiting here, and their Chiron and North Node line go through here, and it was like a major point of healing for them when they were here visiting. Yeah, it's a struggle on the Mars line. Did not enjoy it. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Yeah, Mars can be empowering for sure. I think that's like the biggest lessons of Mars is learning how to use it in a healthy way and in a way that like empowers you. Because it is like your energetic expression. It's you. It's how you're meant to like share your energy and act on things. Saturn in the 8th house, Aries. Ooh. How to prep for Saturn return, learn your astrology and your human design and start living your human design. I just filmed a video on Saturn return. It has like a purple background because I was laying in my hammock. But the video was me talking about how Saturn return doesn't have to be hard, because I was reading about Saturn in this book, and basically it was saying that Saturn is your fundamental nature. It's your true nature, and it teaches you how you are meant to align with your true fundamental nature. And that to me was like, oh, that's what human design is. Like, human design shows you your conditioning. It shows you like what has gotten you away from your fundamental nature, like your true self, and how to connect back with your true self. And I was like, that's why my Saturn return has been like not super hard. Like, everyone has been saying like, oh my God, just wait. And it's like I literally don't know what you're all talking about. Because I feel like I learned all those lessons, like when I started learning about my human design and following it and like shedding all of that conditioning, that was not my true nature. And so that's this is obviously an oversimplification of Saturn, but one of the biggest lessons of Saturn is like, it will get you to return to your fundamental nature. It will get you to mature, to come back in alignment with who you really are. And so learning about your charts literally is your guidance system to doing that. So you don't have to wait for Saturn to return to you. You can do that by learning how to live your human design and starting to learn about your astrology. Because human design is like your energetic blueprint for how you're meant to navigate life, like literally. If it says Scorpio, it's Scorpio, no matter what the degrees and the minutes are. This is why I don't believe in cusps. No such thing. Also, manifesting generator, woo! Me too, I feel you. What if Saturn return is in your 12th house? It's going to be a spiritual awakening. Chiron line will definitely bring up your wounds to heal them, and it's up to you whether you decide to heal them or not. If you are going to stay stuck in the wounds and keep like being in that victim mentality of like, I'm hurt, I'm wounded, it's not going to heal. But yeah, if you're acting on the opportunity it's giving you to heal it, then it's going to be a healing place. Again, like, none of this is black or white. None of this is like, this is how it is for you. We have free will. We decide how these things show up for us. We decide what to do with how this energy shows up. I don't do astrology readings. I teach astrology. Saturn in Aries. Ooh, I'm a 1-3 profile too, Laura. Love me 1-3 profiles. We're the investigators. Okay, oh my gosh, all the comments keep coming in at once. TikTok is on some glitchy stuff right now. I do whole sign houses. Yes, Chiron is known as the wounded healer. Ooh, Monica's a 1-3 too. Yes. Yeah, I did a YouTube video on like the most important parts of your astrology chart to start with, and Chiron was one of them. Chiron, the North Node. I forget what else I said in that video because I did that video like years ago. But yeah. I don't think anyone's built for corporate. I don't even know how people live that life truly. Like, power to them. I just don't get it. I can't. Trying to find my way currently. Aren't we all? 5-1 manifesting generator. I just had like 5-1 profile manifesting generators join my membership. It was crazy. Like, all of them, if you're one of them, all of y'all were in there posting like one after another, like 5-1 manifesting generator 5. I'm like, oh my God, that is so cool. They just all heard the call and were like, gotta join the membership. Right angle cross of what? What's the difference between emotional manifesting generator with or without emotional? Well, Depends on what your emotional channel is, depends on what type of manifesting generator we're talking about, depends on what the other channels are that create the manifesting generator. Like if you only have an emotional channel in your chart, like that's your only one and that's how you're an emotion. Well, actually, I don't think it would be, you'd have to have 2 emotional channels for that to be what makes you an emotional manifesting generator. But that's, you know, it all plays a role. It all signifies something. So to read it really generally like that is kind of tough. But I would say you just need to like be more careful of not acting on things immediately. I mean, and that goes for any emotional authority. And manifesting generators can be really impatient and want to act on things super quickly. But for emotionals, you kind of have to like take a step back and give yourself time to feel clear about it. Doing hella shadow work. I'm exhausted. I think we're all exhausted right now. There's too much in Gemini. Like nobody's sleeping, nobody's eating. Like all the weight we gained with Jupiter and Taurus, if that resonates with you, like it's shedding right now because nobody's eating and nobody's sleeping. Yeah, if you want to learn about your human design, because literally everyone's chart is so freaking unique. Like someone in my membership was saying they asked AI like how many different combinations of human design charts are possible, and it's in the hundreds of billions. Hundreds of billions. Like that's more people than I think have ever lived on this planet. Like it's insane how unique human design is for each chart. So if you want to learn about yours and like what makes yours unique and how to utilize your unique chart, because it is so unique to you, I do a custom report that you can get from astrologyhumandesign.com. It will send it to your email. And it's like 30 plus pages depending on your chart. Yeah, it will tell you everything. It tells you about your channels, your authority, your profile. Bitch, I gained weight. Yeah, same. Same. And then I had this realization last night. I was like, oh, I like am not eating as much because I'm so busy, like Gemini energy. It's probably why I put on, you know, some extra weight. So like, so my body has something to like use as fuel and energy, because no, like with Gemini energy, like we're not eating. Like it's too busy. We're too busy to eat. Like every Gemini I know, they're too busy to eat. That's why they're so skinny, I feel like. For the most part, that's very general Gemini interpretation, but 3-5 generator, nice. One of my good friends is a 3-5 generator, and y'all are amazing. Y'all are like little magical unicorns generating energy, doing what you love. Libra rising Taurus moon, cool. I'm a Libra rising Taurus sun. I feel like there's another question I missed. Oh, we got a 3-5 manifester. Yes. Without emotion is true manifestation. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's just like right here, right now. That's the biggest thing I notice with I have so many friends that are emotional authorities, and most of them are emotional manifestors. Like, I would say I could name you like 8 emotional manifestors right now, which is insane. Because y'all are so rare. Manifestors are one of the most rare types, other than reflectors. And what I see in my emotional friends is truly a wave, like truly an oscillation of decisions. Like, I want to do this. Okay, I just had to interact with the live so it wouldn't shut me off. I don't know what that was. So my emotional authority friends will be like, I want to do this. I just had this idea. I'm going to move to this, whatever. I'm going to do this. And then I'll check in with them the next day and I'll be like, how's all that going? And they'll be like, oh, I decided I'm not going to do it. And then 2 days later, they're like, you know what? I actually do want to do that. And then like a week or however long goes by, and they'll actually get clarity about it and be like, no, or if it's meant to be, like the energy will be there right now to do it. And so that's the thing with emotionals, is it's tricky. Like you can't make those decisions, especially if they're big life decisions, from an emotional place, like from a high or from a low. You really have to give yourself time to have clarity around it. But me as a sacral, I'm like, no, I know that I'm doing this. I know that this is happening. And it's either like I'm doing it right now or like 3 months. But it's not something I'm constantly like on a wave about. I feel like that's the biggest thing with emotionals, as I notice, like y'all are really truly on a wave with your decisions. And it's just about like going through that wave. Oh, your girlfriend's a 5-2. I love 5-2s. 5-2s and 2-5s are some of my favorite profiles because, well, first of all, it's a harmonious profile. I think it's like one of the only harmonious profiles besides 1-4s and 4-1s. And 2-5s and 5-2s are so magnetic. It's insane because of that harmony that their profile just naturally has. I love human design. I teach all of this in my human design course, if y'all didn't know I have that. I love Libra risings. I'm an Aqua risings. Oh, I meet a lot of Aquarius risings. I love Aquarius risings too. I just love air risings. Like they really harmonize with Libra risings well. I mean, air risings with other air risings, it harmonizes. 3-5 man gen with a sacral authority. Ooh, yes. Five ones are here to be leaders in their chosen field of investigation and information. If you want to know about a specific channel, get my human design report. It's on sale right now. You can get it through astrologyhumandesign.com. It will tell you all about your gates, your channels, your centers. It literally walks you through everything. Libra sun, Virgo moon. Oh, for some reason I read that as Libra rising. Cancer rising. I don't know. I feel like Virgo moons just naturally feel misunderstood. I'm trying to think. Oh, so your moon... Oh, it's because your sun is in the 4th house, probably. Girl, manifest money. It's like the easiest thing to manifest. 6-2 profile. Nice. I meet a lot of 6-2s. They're like the best advice givers. 5-1 generator. Nice. We got a lot of 5-1s on here. 1-3. Yay. 1-3 manifester. Oh yeah, we got a lot of 5-1s. Sacral man gen. Talk more about manifesting money. It's literally the easiest thing in the world, y'all. It has been my biggest lesson in life because my North Node, my Pluto, and my Jupiter are in my 2nd house, but my Jupiter is like far away from my North Node and my Pluto. So I've literally gone from like homeless so many fucking times to like money, house. Like that's like my purpose. Because my North Node is in the 2nd house, and it's just taught me truly how easy it is to create money when you just see it as energy. When you just take away like the belief in your head of like it has to be hard, I have to work for it, it has to be a struggle, it can only come through a job, it can only come through this. Like it's literally just a perception. It's just a perception. And once you change your perception of how money can come to you, like literally I have had money come in the most random ways. Literally one day I was like, I still have moments where I'm like, oh my God, I need this amount of money for this. And I'll have moments like that. Like it's not a linear journey at all. But then the universe like shows me like, oh, Kelsey, you just have to surrender. Like literally I made a TikTok about this because someone was talking about how like, you know, groceries are expensive now and stuff. And I was like, we all just need to like make more money because inflation is a natural process of an economy. And like $25 we're still seeing $25 as a lot of money, but like Back in 1950, $25 was a lot of money. And now $25 is like, because of inflation, $25 in 1950 is now like $400. So like we're still seeing, is this making sense? We're still seeing $25 as a lot, but like truly $25 100 years ago is now $400. So like we just need to change our perception of like what's a lot of money. But literally, even when I'll have moments, so I made a video about that, and then literally someone rang my doorbell before I could finish the video. And I was like, who the hell is ringing my doorbell? It was my neighbor. She got a letter in her mailbox for me that was a check. It was a check, y'all. It was a check for literal money. So I was making a video talking about how money is just like, it comes to us when we believe it can come to us in like unlimited ways, because we get to be supported as human beings on this earth as physical like physical manifestations of like the universal God source energy. Like we get to be supported on this planet because that's our birthright as human beings, is to be supported, and money is how we feel supported on this planet because that's the currency that we exist, like that we use in the world that we exist in. And literally money just showed up at my freaking door. Like I can't make this up. Like there have been so many instances like that where when I was living out of my car, like how long ago was that? That was during COVID. So during the lockdowns, I'll say. Summer of 2020, I was living out of my car. Long story. Short version is I was living out of a car that I was borrowing from a friend. It wasn't even my car. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a home. I didn't have shit. And I was like, damn, I need gas money. I need money for food tonight. Like, how is that going to come to me? And I was just like doing my thing. I was looking for somewhere to charge my laptop because Starbucks was super crowded, and like there was only one plug in the Starbucks that I went to, and like it was just too crowded to like use their plug to charge my laptop. So I found this community college where they had plugs outside, and I was just sitting outside of the community college charging my laptop, like doing some work. This was in the very beginning stages of the business I have now. Very beginning stages. It wasn't consistent. Like money was very sporadic. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get money for gas or food, but I do need to charge my laptop, so I'm going to do that right now. And this guy comes up to me. He's like walking his dog, and he starts chatting me up. He's like this older, sweet guy. This like old, it's probably like 60s, 70s. And he was just talking to me, and he's like, oh, what are you working on? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what do you do? You know, are you in school? All the normal old people questions. Let's be real. And I was like, oh, I'm an astrologer. Like, I'm just getting my business started, blah, blah, blah. I do tarot readings too, because back then I did. And he was like, oh, I want a reading from you. And I was like, what? And he paid me cash, y'all. He paid me cash. So living out of my car, didn't know where money's going to come from, needed gas, needed food, was just doing my freaking thing. And literally this guy shows up wanting to pay me out of the blue. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you never know how it's going to come when you just surrender and let yourself believe it can come. It's literally that simple. But I've taken one of my favorite ways to reframe my beliefs around money, because I grew up with a lot of negative beliefs around money. A lot of like, there's never enough, money doesn't grow on trees. What are some other ones I was told like over and over and over? Oh, rich people are only rich and have nice things because they're in debt. That was a big one I had to work through. There was just always that like in my head because of my conditioning from my family. Like, there's never enough money, debt is bad, blah, blah, blah. You have to work really hard to get your money. You have to go to college and get a degree to get your money, to make good money. And then like all of these things, that, like these normal things, right? But they're not real. They're just a perception. They're just a perception and a belief. And once you reframe them and choose to see your life differently, your life will change and money will change. It really is that simple. But one of my favorite people that I've learned like methods to reframe my beliefs around money from are Amanda Francis. She is amazing. She's like the money queen, and she has a course on money. I think it's called Money Mentality Makeover is the course name. And so whenever these things still come back up for me, because like I said, it's not a linear journey. It's not just like one day I was like, I believe that this is, and it changed. No, it's been like a consistent journey over the last like 6 or 7 years to get to this place where I am now. And her course has really helped me a lot. What did your kitchen flooding signify to you about your Saturn return? It was honestly about money. It wasn't really about my Saturn return. It was about believing that I could afford this new place that I moved into and like afford this new level of expansion that I've stepped into. And it was just like, literally, like I just said, my whole life has been about like belief and changing my belief systems. I mean, it's very chart ruler in the 9th house. Like, my biggest lesson has been changing my perception about life in order to have different life experiences. My progressed sun is in Gemini. I am not offering a full chart reading, no. I teach astrology. That's my passion. That's what I love to do. I don't really love doing readings anymore. They don't light me up. But I love teaching. I love connecting with y'all in the membership and answering your questions as you're learning your chart. Do you feel your Gemini sun energy? Yeah. I mean, my sun progressed into Gemini when I started pursuing entrepreneurship, when I left like working for other people, when I left like working retail jobs and working customer service, and because I'm a college dropout, like I didn't have a linear path of career or jobs really. So I worked at Whole Foods for 4 years, moved up there in leadership. And once I got tired of that, I think that was around the time that my sun progressed into Gemini, and I was like, I need to do something different. I think that might have been the same time that my Venus progressed into Cancer too, or my Venus progressed into Cancer. And I was like, I want to create my own business. I want to create my own career. Fuck working for other people. I hate this shit. I hate being told that I have to work this amount of hours this day, like every week. No. And then I was like, okay, how can I create my own business? I was really passionate about health, food, fitness. So that was my first business, but it never really took off. It was like 3 years of struggle bus and having like other odd jobs here and there. I did like dog walking, house sitting. I did so many random jobs just to like make money, because I was like, I'm not working for anyone else ever again. I cannot go back to that. No way in hell. So I just like found ways to make it work. I just found ways to make money that were like outside of the norm. And all of that led me here. That was in 2017. Yeah, I spoke up. No more. No more. I'm done with this. And it's so very sun in the 8th house too, because I was like working for other people. 8th house energy, like living off of other people's resources. 8th house energy. And then it was like, nope, time to do my own thing. The best place to look and analyze your chart is AstroGold. AstroGold is my favorite. Tiara, yeah, you just signed up. Amazing. Did you sign up for the courses, the astrology courses, or my membership? Just got off therapy about money, anxiety, and swiped. Oh my God, that's amazing. How can you see your spouse in your chart? I have a bonus lesson on that in my astrology course, my Become an Astrologer course. There's tons of bonus lessons on like how to make money using your astrology, how to find your spouse in your chart, how to find your children in your chart, because that's using derivative astrology. And then I also have the timing of like starting a business, changing careers, entering into a relationship, when you can meet your spouse, as bonus lessons in the Become an Astrologer course. So your progressed sun, it's kind of complicated to explain. I do have a class on this in my membership. My membership is where all my advanced classes live. But the progressed sun is there. So progressions take into account the evolution of your birth chart. So 1 day or 1 year is 1 day in progressions. So if you're 30 years old, your progress chart is going to be your birth chart 30 days ahead. So that's what a progress chart is, and that's how your progressed sun will change, because especially if you're like a late degree, say your sun is at 29 degrees Taurus, then you have been a sun in Gemini, like your sun progressed into Gemini when you were a year old, most likely. Depends on the minutes of that degrees placement, but that's what progress charts is. So it takes into account the evolution of your chart and the evolution of yourself, and how that changes as you age. Like your focus changes as you age, your evolution changes as you age. Astro Seek. I don't think yeah, that one's okay. They have a lot of cool like features, like the synastry. I like their synastry calculator, but it's annoying because every astrology website looks different. Every chart looks different on every site, and it's so frustrating because none of them are pretty. That's why I love Astro Gold. Astro Charts is probably the prettiest, but they're not always accurate. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, I've had people's rising signs be off with Astro Charts. Could you give insight into me stepping into entrepreneur but also thriving and serving? It really all comes down to belief in your gifts and what you're sharing. I'm going to be creating a course for entrepreneurs, how to create and scale a successful business online. That's another course that I'm in the works of creating right now. Like I was saying earlier, like Gemini season, all the ideas is coming. All the ideas are like, do this. Create this course, create that course. And I've been working on this one for like 3 years. Because there's so much advice about business and online business, entrepreneurship and coaching is so wrong, y'all. It's so bad. It's so wrong. Like I just had, I went to this entrepreneur event in my town, and they had a raffle where you could win a free marketing session with the people that put it on. And it's like, that was put on by a big marketing company in town. And I won the raffle, which was awesome. Totally not expecting that because I had left the event early and everything. And then they like called me a week later and were like, hey, you won this. Like, let's hop on a call and discuss like what your business is and just looking at everything. And then we did that, and they were like, yeah, so if you want, we can run ads for you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what is this, 2018? Like, no, I don't want to run ads. Like, people hate ads. Like, I hate ads. I don't want to be that person that's like running ads. Like, that's what are you even talking about? Like, that's not how you become successful in business. Like, sure, it's a way, but it takes a lot of money. It's like gambling. Like, you have to like put a shit ton of money in it to even see a return, and then you have to keep that up. Like, you have to consistently put money into ads to see a return, and it's like, that's not a vibe. That's not what I want to do. Like, no. Like, the best way to thrive in entrepreneurship is doing what I'm doing right now. Like, go on live, consistently create content, show up on live and talk to people. Like, it's so simple, and people come up with all these complex ways of like, no, overcomplicating it. I can't stand it. And it's 555 right now. The change is here. The change is needed. Because it's so wrong what people are spewing about being successful in business. It's so wrong, and it's holding a lot of people back. So that's my insight. Show up consistently with whatever you're doing and let it change if you want it to change. Like I just shared with y'all, like when I first started showing up I had a whole other business when I first started my like entrepreneurship. But I was showing up consistently. I was posting every single day. I was going live. I mean, if y'all know Shira7, like that's how she's created a successful business online, is just going live once a week on YouTube. Like for years, right? You got to be consistent with what you're doing. And this is why it all comes down to like, you have to love it. You have to love it so much that you're obsessed with it, that you could talk about it forever, that you could just like find ways to share about it forever. Like, you have to truly love it. You can't do it because someone told you it would be successful, it would make money. Like, no. That's honestly what I learned in my first business, was like, I love this. Like, I love nutrition and working out, and I still do, but it's not something I wanted to share. It's not something I wanted to like help people with. It's not something I wanted to make money from. And that's what I learned in doing it. So that's what I mean if like you realize in doing the thing that you're doing now, like, oh, I don't actually really like this as much as I thought. Like, don't be afraid to pivot. Because that was the best thing I ever did for my success. And I pivoted to tarot readings in 2020. And then people kept asking me about astrology because I was so into it. I've been obsessed with it for years, but it never clicked in my head of like, oh, I could create a business around astrology. It just was something that people were like, they saw that I loved and they wanted to learn about it from me. And then it evolved from tarot into astrology. And then same thing happened with human design. And now that's all I do. So yeah, that's my advice. Just show up consistently creating content. If you realize you don't love it as much as you thought, don't be afraid to pivot into what you actually love or what people are asking you for. And just show up consistently. That's literally all it is just showing up consistently and talking about your stuff. Whether that's, consistently creating YouTube videos, consistently creating TikTok. Arguably, TikTok's the best place to thrive right now. That's kind of changing. TikTok and YouTube. It's kind of changing. I feel like there's a new platform emerging. Not sure what it is yet. Not sure when it will emerge, but just show up wherever you feel called and show up consistently. That's literally the sauce. That's a sauce. And that's evolved for me too. Like when I first started reading tarot, it was Instagram. I was going live every day on Instagram. I didn't even know about TikTok, and I was like resistant to TikTok. It wasn't until like the end of 2021 that I got on TikTok. But at first it was Instagram, then it was Clubhouse, which is still kind of a thing, but not really a thing. That's like an audio only app. And then I started a podcast. I was also doing stuff on YouTube, and then TikTok just overshadowed all of it. And that became like my obsession. And I still do stuff on other platforms, but it all starts here. Cause I love TikTok. I love y'all on here, and I love creating on here, and I love showing up on here. Yeah, you're so welcome. Yay, you signed up for the courses. Yay, I'm so excited for you. Your synastry will tell you if you and your spouse are a fit. Yes, for sure. The American ephemeris I have a class on reading the ephemeris because it's literally like something you have to learn to read. It's really confusing if you've never learned how to read one. But the ephemeris is the best place to find transits, especially if you're like, okay, when does Pluto move into 10 degrees of Aquarius? Because that's my rising sign or that's my moon or whatever. Like you can just open up the ephemeris and look for Pluto, look for 10 degrees, and it will tell you. I've even had I've asked GPT, which I have the astrology like GPT like add-on or what, I don't know what to call it, but I have the astrology chat GPT, and it's wrong when I ask it about certain transits. It's like not right, so I always consult my ephemeris. That's the best. It's the best. Oh my god, so many comments just came in at once. Give me a second. Oh wait, here we go. Who did you just mention again? Amanda Francis. She has a lot of stuff on YouTube. Sometimes I'll just let it play because she really, what her teaching is about being in the energy of what you want. And that's really what it comes down to. Like when I'm stressed about money and when I'm worrying about money, best believe it cuts off my flow to money. When I'm just doing what I love, when I'm just doing my thing, like I shared that story with y'all when I was just charging my laptop outside this community college when I was living out of my car. This guy showed up wanting to pay me. Like, it's always when I'm not thinking about it, it just flows in so easily. Because I think when we worry, and stress about it, we close off the channel. It's like go run your sink faucet and let the water flow through your hand and try to catch onto the water. It all fucking leaves your hand when you try to catch onto it. That's literally how money is. But that's what Amanda Francis teaches. She just teaches you that it's an energy and you feel the feelings of how it would feel to be supported by money, to be making however much you need a month to feel good and supported, and living as that person now. like being in that vibe, being in that feeling of like, it's here, it's done, I did it. And looking at any limiting beliefs that come up that tell you it can't happen and like reframing them. Best free chart app? I don't know. I don't know. I paid for mine 3 years ago and it's the one that I use every day in all my videos. I don't like the free apps. I don't like any of them. So I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask about that because I don't like them at all. Any of them. Thank you, Sylvia. Keys Queen. Thank you. You're welcome. Trying to create a more positive relationship with my Gemini Venus. I feel like it makes us, I don't know. I love my Gemini Venus. I feel like it makes us like intellectuals. It also depends on if it's your chart ruler, what house it's in. For me, it's my chart ruler and it's in my 9th house. So I love learning, but I don't want to be told what to learn. This is why I dropped out of college because I was like, why do I have to take a class on Christianity when my major is biology? What? You're telling me I have to learn something that's not like that I don't choose to learn? Like, no. Some other positives. I feel like we're really social when we want to be. I feel like we can like really have a conversation with anybody. We can fit in with anybody because we know so much about so many different topics. Like I can talk to somebody about cars. I can talk to somebody about what the best blender is. Like I can talk to somebody about almost anything because I've like taken the time to research it or have personal experience with it. Like I have a lot of personal experience with cars, so I can talk to somebody about cars and like, oh, it's making this noise, it's doing this, oh, that's what's wrong with it. Like I feel like we have a really well-rounded like mind and intellect. We really like having intellectual conversations. And like I said, because of that, we can like strike up a conversation with anybody. I don't know. I love my Gemini Venus. Thanks, Amelia. Oh, yeah, you're a Libra rising too, and you were born during a new moon. Love that. Chat definitely has some issues with astrology. So many issues. Like, I can't. Like, more issues than, like, it makes sense. And the interpretation it gives me are so basic. Like, I'm just like... And then it's like, oh, I just got this from Astrology Answers. And it's like... Yo, I could have gathered that myself. I didn't need you to tell me that basic bullshit, ChatGPT. So that I don't use ChatGPT for that. I use it for helping me with my SEO on my website and like descriptions for things like sales pages or like course descriptions. I'll have it write some stuff for me for that sometimes. I really use it for like business purposes. And then I use it a lot to help me write like replies to people if I don't know how to say something to someone. I'll ask it like, how would you say this in this scenario? Resource authority, what is that? Was that an autocorrect? I've never heard of that in my life. It must be an autocorrect. So what's the one you use at apps? I use AstroGold. AstroGold. Yay, Debbie has a Gemini Venus too. Yay, you're welcome, Sin. Anything about someone born under a full moon? That's an intense life. But you're really here to be like an inspiration for people and illuminate. Like y'all make really great healers and leaders. Because you have so much wisdom. I use ChatGPT to translate confusing ballot questions. Oh, that's a good idea. There's someone in my membership community that uses it to like help them read through research articles because they work in the medical field and like have to read these like really complex research papers, and they'll have ChatGPT like simplify it. And I was like, that's smart. I love using it for stuff like that, but like astrology, it's an intuitive art. You can't ask a machine to intuit. Like that's a human quality. Intuition is a human thing. It's not, you can't ask a computer to intuition. You can't. I don't think you'll ever be able to. Ego authority. Oh, that's rare. Cool. Oh, yeah, okay, manifestor, ego manifestor. That's amazing. That's really rare. That is a powerful, the heart center, the ego center is so powerful. Taurus sun, rising, and Sag moon. Manifesting generator, cool. I'm also a Taurus sun, but I'm a Libra rising, and I'm also a Sag moon. That's amazing. And a manifesting generator. Ah, that's so cool, Christine. Gemini, Venus, second house. Ooh, you can make money through writing or something like that. Three, 5 generator. My mom was born under a full moon. Oh, interesting. I lived with someone who was born under a full moon for like a month, and it was intense. My good friend was born under a full moon. I feel like they never slow down. Like there's always something going on. Like like think of when there's a full moon in the sky, like how everyone's kind of like just like energized and acting a little crazy. Like that's like born under full moon people like every day. Manifesting generator, hey! Ooh, triple Virgo. I don't see any AI. No, it's not possible. It's literally... it's not possible. Because astrology is an intuitive art. Same with human design. Like, someone recommended human design something AI to me, and I used it, and I was like, this is wrong. Like, it's literally giving y'all wrong information. Oh, we got a lot of manifestors on here. Manifestors, y'all are less than 9% of the population. You're super rare. Super rare. But y'all are really here to have an impact on the world. My daughter was born under the Libra full moon. Oh. Generator with a Sag moon. Hey, I got a Sag moon. I'm a Manny Gen. Human design is a whole other language for sure. If you already know astrology, it makes it easier. But that's why I made my ebook. Like the ebook was the first thing I made that I was like, I need to help people understand this information simply. Like to learn the language of it. Because if you get the definitive book of human design, it's like a fucking textbook. It's so hard to understand. So that's why I made my ebook, because it breaks it all down super simply. There's pictures, there's visuals, there's arrows like pointing to certain things, so it helps you like understand what's going on. But oh, my phone's gonna die. It really is like a language to learn. But if you're new, highly recommend my ebook, because it will walk you through the basics and like help you understand the language. I have a whole playlist on using astrology to make money, that you can go binge those videos. And then, like I said earlier, it's a bonus lesson in my Become an Astrologer course. It's like a 30-minute lesson on just how to make money using your astrology chart. And my second Saturn return, things are happening. Yay! We love that. I love the Saturn return. Honestly, I have learned to love Saturn. Because I forget where I talked about this. It might have been on one of my podcast episodes. But Jupiter to me is like, I feel like Jupiter gets all the love that Saturn should get a little bit more of, because Jupiter is like fast and quick energy. It's like, okay, you might manifest $10,000, but it's going to be gone like in a month. You know, Jupiter is like the energy of people that win the lottery and then they spend it all. Like that's Jupiter. But Saturn is like you're building something that's going to last your whole lifetime. Like you're going to provide a trust fund for your children because you're building generational wealth for yourself. Like that's Saturn. Like and this is why I love Saturn, because it's like, that's long lasting. Like, that's what we want. We don't want like quick and fast and gone. No, we want like, okay, I'm building this and it's gonna last like lifetimes. Like, yes. Love Saturn. Yep, you gotta be seen for what you love. That's Leo energy. That's Leo energy. Yeah, I have a blog post on it too. I have a blog post on how to make money using your astrology, and I go through each sign ruling your second house. Astrologyhumandesign.com. Thanks. My little feather. This is a cool painting I found at Home Goods. If y'all don't know, that's like, Home Goods has the best art, and it's so cheap. Well, it's affordable. We don't like the word cheap. Affordable. I'm gonna correct myself. It's affordable. I understand the purpose now of Saturn in your 7th house. Yeah, I feel you. I am a Taurus sun. I am. 8 degrees. 8 degrees. My Mercury is at 6 degrees Taurus. Happy birthday! Oh my god, is it? It's June 4th. That was 2 days ago. Nice. Nice. Dating relationships this summer. It's gonna be better when Jupiter and... Will Jupiter join Venus? I think so. Or wait, no, they won't... Will they not join each other again? Let me look. This is when I need my ephemeris, because that is the easiest way to see that. No, I don't think they will join each other again. I don't know, I think it will get easier too when Mars leaves Chiron. Oh, nice, you're a Taurus sun too. That makes sense because your Venus is in Gemini. I feel like everyone I know with Venus and Gemini is a Taurus sun or a Cancer sun. Yeah, Tauruses are great. Taurus men are a little strange. I feel like the sun in Taurus and men is very different. But for the most part, I love me some Taurus women, for sure. Emotional day today. Yeah, Mars on Chiron. Mars on Chiron. And Mercury on Jupiter. We got the new moon coming up too, so we're all in this kind of like cocoon right now. The new moon is when the sky is the darkest. So it is a time of internal reflection, setting intentions. That's why they say to plant seeds and like set your intentions around the new moon, because it's that time where things are dark so that you can plant for the new things to grow. Yeah, I feel you. I also love Gemini season. But I think dating, at any given time depends on your chart, because we've kind of been through all of the ringer transits in terms of dating. I mean, we will have the Venus-Saturn opposition in August. That will be a little crazy. But for the most part, it just depends on your chart and what's going on with your chart, with your 5th house, your 7th house, and the ruling planets of both. Taurus men, yeah. They're like water signs. I don't even know how to explain it. They're very strange. Been crying a lot. I feel you. I've had like random moments of crying that have like come out of nowhere. What is going on with the energy the last couple days? Do you watch my updates on Sunday? Because I talked about Monday and Tuesday being the craziest days of this week. Just because of the Sun and Venus conjunction in Gemini, and then Mercury just joined Jupiter in Gemini, and then we still have Mars on Chiron. So the rest of the week will feel better, but these 2 days have been kind of crazy. You'll win money from the lottery when you're in the energy of feeling like you're going to win. Yes, I do a live update I do a transit update every Sunday with my astrology board, give y'all a visual representation of the transits, and I send it to my email list too in written form. So yeah, that's every Sunday. My big three, I'm a Libra rising, Taurus sun, Sag moon. I have stuff in everything though, pretty much, except for Aquarius and Leo. And well, my midheaven's in Cancer. Geminis get such a bad rap. Yeah. Yeah, I think every sign has that bad parts of it that people just spew. Neptune entering Aries is going to be crazy. That's all I'm going to say about it. For right now. No fire in your chart. Oh, wow. You got to utilize those fire transits, girl. Mars is in Aries right now. North Node's in Aries. Got to utilize it. Hi, Jaqui. Yeah. Where did I talk about this? I talked about this in one of my membership lives recently, the Q&As I do in my membership, because we were talking about AI and how with Pluto and Aquarius it's becoming like mainstream. Like AI has been in the works for 12, 15, maybe even longer years. But it's like becoming a part of the mainstream culture. And so I was talking about how Uranus is going to move into Gemini next year. Neptune's going to move into Aries. North Node's going to move into Pisces. There's a lot of major movements happening next year with the things. So this year is about wrapping up cycles so we can like move into this new energy. Lots of Scorpio. That's fun. If you don't have a lot of Earth, you might struggle with like consistency. Yeah, I might struggle with like routine, being grounded. Always crying to club. Oh my god. I don't even know what that means. Mercury-Jupiter conjunction has just been a lot of socializing, a lot of creating. Like, I just put together my astrology crash course and launched that. And then I'm finishing up my other course that I've been working on. It's just a lot of, like, creating and putting new things out to the world. A lot of ideas that I've had for a long time and I'm now, like, I need to act on this. That's how the conjunction's been for me. And then yesterday was a lot of socializing, but also like working. Like I finished up some PowerPoint slides that are for the classes I'm adding to my variables course, my human design variables course that I launched last week. And so like finishing up those PowerPoint slides so that I can like have a structure for the class when I film it. Been a lot of socializing, been a lot of creating content on TikTok. Yeah, it's just been a lot of like, for me, work, because my work is like education and information. It's very Gemini, so that's how it's been for me. And just sharing all that with y'all. Why is astrology so accurate? Because it is a way to understand like the influences that we experience here on Earth from the universe. It's like the cosmic big picture. And it's really like a bridge, depending on your spiritual beliefs. It's a bridge to the universe, God, source, energy. Like it's a way to understand where we came from and how there's a purpose for us here on Earth. And we chose this purpose. We chose this life. And it helps us to understand that and bridge the gap of knowledge between our existence here right now in this life as human beings and like where we came from. The science behind it to me is like quantum mechanics. Like we live in this mass universe filled with information through, I mean, this is to me like human design brings in the science of this, because human design helps you understand neutrinos and how like atoms hold within them information, and the information comes through neutrino streams that come from the planets. And so it's a way to understand that information in a practical sense to apply it here on Earth. I feel like I was saying something else and I got off on a tangent, but it's just a way to read universal energy and like understand it, if that makes sense. But this it's so cool that you asked that, because that was one of the main things we talked about in my membership live last night. I do a live Q&A in my membership 4 times a month, and last night we were all talking about how astrology has given us such a way to understand ourselves and a way to understand like what happens to us in our life and certain life themes, and that it's not about me, this is just like what's happening right now in the energy, and this is what I'm learning from it, and this is how I can apply it. And like it kind of removes you from everything and helps you to like just understand why everything happens the way that it does. Yeah, it's like an operating system. I mean, that's like what human design is. It's like your mechanics, like the mechanics of your body. Like our bodies are machines, our bodies are technology, and human design helps you to understand how to use your technology that your body is. So yeah, it's like your user manual for life, like how to understand your operating system, because every single person on this earth has a different operating system, or like a way that universal energy is affecting you on an individual level. Because if we all had the same life or the same energy, like it would be so boring, like just having a bunch of clones walk around, like it's getting boring. Nobody wants that. So well, that's what I love about these systems. It helps you to understand your individuality, like your uniqueness and why you're unique. Because energy is everything. Yes, it is. Literally, that's all we are, is energy. And like these systems give us a practical way to understand that energy. To learning aspects, depends on what your preferred way of learning is. My astrology crash course will walk you through aspects in astrology. You can also learn about them through my ebook. And depends on what kind of aspects you're asking about. So if you're asking just like basics of like what does a trine mean, what does a conjunction mean, check out my ebook or my astrology crash course. If you want to learn about aspect patterns, like what a kite is, what a yod is, what a grand cross is or a grand trine is, I have a class on that in my membership. So my membership is where all the more advanced stuff lives. I have a class on aspect patterns. I have a class on the decans, astrocartography, all that kind of deeper stuff lives in my video library and my membership. Learning about what's going on helps, yeah, for sure. How many Cancer moon? I feel so, yeah. Yeah, any water placements really you're super sensitive. Thanks. I love, yeah, as a way to understand the universal language, yeah. It truly is. Like, I was telling somebody this. Oh, my friend stayed with me because she was like, she had to move out of her place super last minute, and so she didn't have anywhere to stay. And I was like, just stay with me, it's fine. And so we were up chatting late one night, and I don't know how this came up. Maybe she was asking me about astrology because she's not really, like, doesn't know a lot about it. And I was like, yeah, I did ayahuasca, and that's like one of the, can I say that? I guess I already said it. Whatever. And that was one of the things that, like, the biggest downloads I got was that I'm here to help people learn astrology so that they can bridge the gap between our existence here on earth and like where we came from. Because if you've never like researched souls or the spirit realm or the spirit world or anything like that, basically when we incarnate into this body from the spirit world, from God, source, energy, whatever you want to call it, our souls like live there. That's the spirit world, right? When our soul comes into this body, we forget everything. And astrology and human design helps you to remember. It gives you a literal like guide to your life and like why your soul is here. Like it's literally your user manual. And so that was one of the biggest things I received when I was on that journey, was like, yeah, this is a system and a tool to help you bridge the gap between your existence here on earth and like the soul realm, the spirit realm, where we all came from. Had to hide your cards from people. Wait, did I miss something? Yay, I'm so glad my videos have helped you. I just love making them, truly. Like, ooh, someone, whose chart was it that you're 1-3 generator? Are you a Scorpio by chance, or a fixed sign? Because someone, I think it was Alex Hermosi. Do y'all know Alex Hermosi? He's this big like business entrepreneur guy. And I was looking up his chart. He's a Leo, and he has the right angle cross of explanation. And I was like, this makes so much sense, because that's literally all he does. That's all his content is. It's just explaining things. It's so funny how that shows up. I appreciate you all so much. Pisces, Bellas. Yeah. Pisces is tough because it's like you're on your way out. But you're also here to bring that like wisdom and spiritual knowledge into the world. So it can be tough for sure. Yeah, it helps you remember. Like, oh my God, I used to have this toy. Okay, do you guys remember the OG Lion King, like from the 90s? I used to have this toy when I was a little kid that was like that scene where Simba is looking in, is that his name? Oh my God, why can't I remember? I haven't seen this movie in forever. But when he's looking into the river, the pond, and he's like asking like, why? What? And then his dad comes through and is like, remember who you are. Like, that's astrology and human design to me. It helps you remember who you are. But I used to have a toy that would like, you would press it and it would say like, remember who you are. Oh, it's so wild. I just thought of that randomly. People with autism are from the, yeah, they're just they're closer. Everyone's from the spirit realm, but people with autism are closer. Like, they have a closer connection to it. They're not so conditioned into the matrix that we all live in. That's my opinion. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you. 1-3 Scorpio. Oh, cool. I'm a 1-3 Taurus. Right angle cross out of 4 ways. That's my incarnation cross. How do you find out the houses? Take my astrology crash course. I just launched it. It's in my profile. Thanks, Sin. Cute laugh. I think that's accurate because I think I'm autistic and I've never felt as conditioned. Yeah, I feel you. We're just on our own dimension. Like, literally, we're on our own, like, vibe. But also in human design, it's being right. It's being, not, like, correct right, but, like, this is what like having your arrows face right. Like if you have a lot of right arrows, or you're an undefined solar plexus, or there are a lot of things that can create this energy in someone's chart. But for the most part, in general, it's being mostly right in your variables, because the right energy is what we're moving into, and the left energy is like that strategic, like I talk about this in my variables course, in my variables ebook too, which the ebook is included in the course. But if you're more left, you're going to be more like strategic, focused on things, like more of that like linear energy. And the right is the opposite. The right is more like intuitive and flow, constantly like taking in information, like a sponge. And they're like not normal, right? Because the left is normal and the right is like what's new. It's what we're moving into. But yeah, it's so unique and so different from what we've experienced as humanity up until this point. I want to do astrology charts professionally. How do you know if you'd be a good candidate? That's all you need to know. You want to do it? Then do it. If you desire to do it, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. And if you feel called, I have a Become an Astrologer course that will help you to be confident in reading charts and learn everything you need in one place to be able to be a reader, to be confident in being a reader, really. But all you really need is the desire. You love it, you want to do it, you're interested in it. That's it. That's how you know. It's not complicated. What stellium in the 5th house, Sagittarius? Are you really creative? I'd say that depends on what your unique passions are, but the 5th house is all about creative passions. Gate 57. Gate 57 is a Libra gate. It's the gate of intuitive insight. If you have my ebook on astrology, it will tell you about it. But it's basically like a gate of intuition. And it's a really weird gate in the sleep chart. Like in the sleep chart, it has a different meaning, which I have a class on that in my membership that I talked about recently, because we had the South Node in Gate 57 for a long time, because the South Node is in Libra and it was just in Gate 57. So that was a collective energy for like a couple months, and it activated the sleep chart, which really gave some weird dreams. And we have 57 people watching right now. That's funny. But yeah, it's like, it's an intuitive knowing. It's like very attuned to sound as well. Yeah, the gates correlate to astrology. I don't know too much about Lilith. I've never really resonated with like, or wanted to look into it. The only thing I know is that it's like kind of has Scorpio energy. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's where the information in human design comes from, is astrology. I just tweeted about Jupiter in the 8th house. You can go find that tweet, or if you're on Threads. Thank you, Cosmo's mom. Day crystals. Crystals. Yeah, my ebook will walk you through which, how do I say that? Which gates correspond to each astrology sign, because like, as an example, 0 to 5 degrees Sagittarius is gate 34. Like, it will give you all that information of like what set of degrees in each zodiac sign is each gate. What's up, fellow Sag Moon? Hey. Oh my God. We love the Sag Moons. Keep hearing on TikTok your placements are witch placements. Wait, Sag Sun, Libra Sun? Or is one of those your moon? Yeah, I just had Jupiter in my 8th house moving through it. For me, it like amplified, well, definitely amplified like intuition and psychic abilities, but it also amplified things that I needed to like transmute and transform. Jupiter will amplify anything, wherever it is. Whether it's in your chart natally or it's moving through your chart. Like I feel like having Jupiter natally in my 2nd house is why I've always been obsessed with like, how can I figure out the energetics behind money and like change my beliefs about money? And like I went on that money rant for like 20 minutes earlier. Like I feel like wherever Jupiter is, it creates this obsession. Sag Moon gang, yes! Jupiter in 2nd house. Yeah, but I have Pluto there too, so not always, but yeah. I have Pluto on my North Node in the 2nd house, and then my Jupiter is 9 degrees, and then my Pluto and North Node are, North Node's 23 degrees, Pluto's 27 degrees. But yeah, have been pretty blessed with money. It's honestly like it's very Jupiter energy. Like it just comes when it comes. It's like, here you go. And then I have to like work through the limiting beliefs again, Pluto on North Node, and then Jupiter does its thing again, and then the cycle repeats. I have Pluto in the 2nd house too. It's supposed to be hard, but still blessed. Everyone that has been an astrologer that I've given my chart to and they find out I have Pluto in the 2nd house, they're like, oh, you're meant to be really wealthy. But it's like through a lot of, like, it's Pluto energy. You transform that energy. You transform the darkness of like, you know, what's the worst case scenario with that? Homelessness, which like I've experienced. So you like transform the like absolute darkness worst case scenario to rise above it like a phoenix. Pluto energy. And they're all in Scorpio for me. So my 2nd house is ruled by Scorpio. Girl, just show up on live. On YouTube or TikTok, literally. I feel like it's the one thing about business entrepreneurship people are not telling people to do. I don't know why, but literally that's it. That's all you gotta do is show up on live. There are tarot readers that I watch on TikTok. They do lives like 3 times a week. And they make so much money. Like, so much money. They'll do like $35 readings, $45 readings. They make them bank. And then they have like their private readings too that they offer, like off of live. Like, that's literally all you need to do. Is fucking get on the camera in front of people and sell things. That's literally it. That's literally it. That's it. What do you feel is the most important placement? I talked about that earlier. I have a YouTube video on that. I think Chiron and North Node are the most important to start with. Yeah, Pluto in the 2nd house, definitely blessed after hard work for sure. What do you mean how? You show up on live. What do you mean? You press go live and sell your tarot readings. What do you mean? Say, this is my Venmo, this is my Cash App. Pay me for a reading. Literally. Oh, you need followers for live? Well, you don't on YouTube. You can do it on YouTube. You don't need any followers on YouTube to go live. I'm pretty sure. Right? Oh, you be live so much and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. That's it. You gotta really love it because there are gonna be times where it doesn't feel like anything's happening. Maybe try a different platform. Maybe try YouTube. Can you explain why format channels have a big... Oh, I have a whole blog post on that. You can go find Vanessa. astrologyhumandesign.com/blog. I did Oh, my phone is really dying. astrologyhumandesign.com/blog. I did a whole post on the format channels and how they can create certain types of depression. That's a really great blog post you can go find. If you can't find it by scrolling, just search for it. Search for depression or format channels, something like that. You'll find it. You need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube to go live? No way. Really? Well, you can go live on Instagram with no followers. And anywhere you go live on any platform, it will push out your content. It will push out your live and it will push out your other content. Oh, just looked it up. They must have changed that because I feel like I was going live on there when I didn't have any subscribers. But yeah, Instagram I don't think you need any followers to go live on Instagram. I mean, it's not hard to get 1,000 followers on TikTok. Just be consistent. And there was that whole trend going around, like, helping people follow each other, so just be consistent. Don't see it as hard. I don't know much about the Vertex. People have told me about it, and I don't know, it just goes over my head. It doesn't click. I don't know. Go watch my, if you're on Instagram, I have a pinned video at the top of my Instagram profile for projectors. You can also find it in my projector playlist on my page on TikTok. Like, I have playlists for every single human design type. You don't have to wait for an invitation. No. Go watch the videos in that playlist. Or get my custom human design report, because it will also tell you that. That you're meant to follow your authority. And put yourself out there to get recognized. Some of the most successful people I know on this app are projectors. No one invited them to TikTok. No one invites them to create content every day. They're following their authority. And they're talking about what they want to talk about. And then people are recognizing them and being like, hey, I love your content. Like, can you help me with this? Can I hire you for, you know, like, that's all it is. There's so much misinformation out there about projectors. It is annoying. But yeah, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. Solar plexus authority is just following, what feels good. I mean, that's basically all they all come down to, is what feels good. That can show up in different ways. Like with the sacral, it's excitement. It's like, oh, I'm excited. Like, yes. With the emotional authority, it depends on your emotional channel. The channel that creates your emotional authority. But at the end of the day, it's like, what feels good? What is your body wanting to do? What is your body wanting to create? Where's your body wanting to go? Yeah, no, projectors are always leaders. They have, like, the best freaking insights. Like, manifestors only repel people that aren't meant to be in your network. Like, you don't repel people that are supposed to be around you. I have a whole podcast episode for manifestors where I did, like a podcast with other manifestors and, like, got their experiences on things. But really, it just comes down to this analogy of, like, manifestors are a bulldozer. You're on your path to your vision, and you're bulldozing everyone out of the way that isn't meant for your path to create your vision. But the people that are going to help you create that vision are going to hop on the bulldozer with you. Yeah, I have a podcast, Astrology and Human Design. I have inner vision cognition. It's a fun one. We, like, see a lot of stuff in our mind's eye. Yeah, you don't have to wait for invitations. You don't. Unless it's, like, giving advice or selling things, but it's more so about like feeling recognized. It's what a lot of human design calculators are missing from the strategy. When it tells you you're a projector, it just says wait for an invitation. It doesn't say recognition, which is the most important part. Do you feel recognized? That can be a form of an invitation to share your gifts. I don't answer my messages on here, so I don't know. I don't even think I accept messages from people that aren't my friends on here. Recommendations for... I just told you them. The playlist on my page. I have a whole playlist for projectors where I talk about this a lot. And those videos that I've done. Did your message go through? No, I don't see. What message? Did you have a question? Oh. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, go find that playlist on my page. Oh, yeah, it did go through, Vic. I see it now. I'm also a Sag Moon. Yay, you're welcome. Yeah, I did go through. Sorry, I'm like, my energy is waning. And my phone just told me it's about to die, so... Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. You can find out your human design chart by going to astrologyhumandesign.com. Get your chart. Or first link in my profile. Empty houses in astrology are not the same thing as undefined centers. Human design has a whole different lens. Like, astrology is your timing. It's your life story. Like, the movie of your life is your astrology. You know, when are you going to meet friends? When are you going to have a career shift? That's astrology, right? Human design is, okay, what actor are you in your movie? What is your actor, you know, what role are they meant to have? What lines are they here to say? That's human design. They're completely different lenses of your life. So just like how your movie, right, is like more of like a broad overall, it has a plot, right, it has a beginning, middle, and end. But the actor in that movie is very specific in terms of like how they're acting, their energy, how they're going through that movie, right, how they're reacting to the movie, you know, that's like the difference between the two. So no, they don't really kind of correlate like that, because astrology, your houses are the areas of your literal life. The centers in your human design are your literal energy centers, like the energy centers in your body, the chakras. Hey, Golden Queen, I'm also a manifesting generator. Whoop whoop. Looking into your courses, do I learn everything? Yes. Yes, so the bundle of both my Become an Astrologer course and Learn Human Design course, like you can click on each course to learn exactly what's inside. But yeah, it will teach you everything, the basics of astrology in the Become an Astrologer course. And like I said, you can see exactly what's all inside and how long each lesson is when you click on the individual course. And then the Learn Human Design course will teach you the whole human design system, the basics, so the types, channels, gates, authorities. Like I said, you can click on the actual like course, the individual course, to see what's inside of it. And yeah, the bundle will give you both those courses. And then if you want to learn the variables, that's a new course I've released that goes into like determination, digestion, environment. That's like the deeper stuff of human design. Definitely recommend learning the basics of the system before you dive into the variables. The variables are pretty complex and deep. But yeah, the Learn Human Design course will teach you the basics. Centers, channels, gates, like I said, types, authorities, split definition, triple split, single definition. All of the basic stuff of human design is taught in my Learn Human Design course. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for being you. I appreciate you. Okay, good. That makes sense. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so they're completely different lenses. And human design is really, really specific. That's why it's like, it's your energetics, because it's specific to you, versus astrology is like broad, general, timing, life story. 5-1 generator. Yeah, you definitely get projected onto a lot, for sure. That's that fifth line energy, because you're externalizing your truth, you're externalizing your energy, and people, that's polarizing. That's why celebrities are huge. I think Justin Bieber is a 5-2 or a 2-5. Who else are some famous fifth lines? I can't remember off the top of my head. Kim Kardashian is a 3-5, so she has that fifth line. But it's like that polarizing energy, because y'all are externalizing your truth, and we live in a dualistic world, so there's gonna be two perspectives to everything. So it's like, if people don't resonate with your truth, they're gonna project onto you their truth. You know what I mean? So that's why you have to be like very direct and clear, and like, this is what I stand for, this is what I can do, this is what, because people can only see through their individual perspective and lens, like truly, unless you're a fifth line, then you kind of see, you externalize that lens. I love how Einstein was a 1-3. Yeah. The only 6-2 generator, Pamela the Obamas are 6-2s. I think they're manifesting generators though. But literally, that's wild you say that, because, and then I thought of like Obama, because literally so there's a new member in my community, and she was posting about, and I made a video about this. She was posting about how she's in her third stage of being a 6 line, and she's like coming down from the roof right now, or she's like down from the roof, and how she just feels like the impact of that and the amazingness of that. And I was looking at like, when did Obama, like, where was Obama on that? Because I know he's a 6-2 when he got elected for president. Like, where was he on that journey? Sure enough, he was in the third phase of being the 6 line when he got elected. So it's real. Yeah, the 6 line has 3 stages to it. If you have my custom report for your human design chart, it will tell you about that if you're a 6 line. I also walk you through that in my human design course and my human design ebook, which the ebook comes with the course. And if you already have the ebook, there is a discount code to get your money back for the ebook when you buy the course. If that makes sense. Yay, Christine! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I love my courses. They're like, I put my heart into them. I love them so much. They're like my baby. I'd say astrology gives you more general energy around career than human design does, because none of this stuff gives you answers. It confirms the answers you already know within you. So, like, when I started reading tarot, and then people were coming to me to learn about their astrology, and then I saw in my chart that my second house is ruled by Scorpio, like, I meant to make money from the occult, like, it just confirmed that in me, but it didn't tell me, like, you need to do that, because Scorpio rules a whole lot of different things. Like, people with Scorpio energy, especially ruling the second house, could make money being a psychologist, a psychiatrist. You can make money being a sex worker. You can make money, like, having an OnlyFans. But, like, there's so many different interpretations. So it's not like it's going to give you the answers. It's just going to confirm what you already know within yourself. And then human design is, like, how you create it, how you achieve it. So for me, I knew that I meant to follow my excitement no matter what. So I was excited to get on live today. I was excited to create the courses when I created them. I was excited to create my ebook when I created them. So that's like, it tells you how to know when you're on the right path. But if we had all the answers, why the fuck would we want to live it, right? If you knew the movie, if you saw this movie on Netflix and it told you exactly what was going to happen in the movie, like, why would you watch the movie? That's how it is with life. Like, why would you want to go through your life if you knew it all? So that's what I love about it, is it just confirms what you already know within yourself. and it helps you to connect more back to your intuition and trust it. Because we do have this intuitive knowing of what we're meant to do. It's just about trusting it, because there's so much outside narrative of like, well, you can't make money being an astrologer. You can't make money being a painter. You can't make money making music. Like, there are people that are meant to do that. Like, who are you to say that that can't be a thing? Because if you desire it, it is probably meant to be a thing for you, you know? If y'all want to know about your second house sign and like what that means, go find my blog post on it. astrologyhumandesign.com. Go to the blog. I think it's like the second or third blog post. It was a recent one I did. I use whole sign houses. I have flirted with Gene Keys. I love Gene Keys, but it's dense. And I mean, it's all the same stuff at the end of the day. It's all the same stuff, because the founder of Gene Keys, the guy who created the Gene Keys, used to work with the founder of Human Design and like taught Human Design, and then he created the Gene Keys from Human Design. So like it's all connected. It just depends on like what resonates with you for what lens you want to like look at this stuff from, but it's all the same, truly. Yeah. Yeah, so astrology will confirm what you already know inside. But anytime you're trying to look for answers outside of you, no. Because you know best. You know best. And that's what these systems help you with, is trust. Trust what you know inside. Hi, Lynn. Len VK. Thank you. My blogs are really informative. Thank you. I created them to be so thank you for saying that. Because I love educating y'all. I really love teaching. Like, this, again, is my sacral excitement. Like, this is what I love. Like, y'all can see it. Like, I fucking love teaching. But then it's like, readings? I don't feel as excited about readings. Like, I want to teach you how to read your own chart. Oh, thank you for thanking me, Macy. I appreciate you. Again, this is just me just doing what I love. It's me following my excitement. I don't do anything that doesn't excite me because it's not right for me. And that's the same with anyone else that has a sacral authority. Thank you. Hey, thank you guys for the comments. Oh my god. My Cancer midheaven feels seen and loved and nurtured. So does my Libra rising. I appreciate y'all. I just love what I do, and I want everyone to do what they love, because it's what you're meant to be doing. It's what you're meant to be doing. It's what you're meant to be doing. And that's what Pluto and Aquarius is bringing us, is alignment with our authenticity. Thanks, Vanessa. Okay, I love you guys so much, and I love being here with you all, but my phone is literally gonna die, and I don't want it to die on y'all. My big three is Taurus Sun, Libra Rising, Sag Moon. That's me. That's me. But yeah, if you want to connect with me further, yeah, I need to go charge and get off here. The next live I'm doing in my membership community is on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. If you're in my membership and you go to the live Q&A schedule, like where the events are, the section, it will change it for your time zone. So it will tell you what time it is based on your time zone. We had someone join from Australia last night, which was so cool. I was like, oh my God, it was Monday for us, for me, but it was Tuesday for them. It was so cool. Anyways. So it will change it for your time zone, tell you what time it is. Next one is Thursday. Yeah, I do them twice a week, every other week. But the schedule will be on that page, in the live Q&A page, if you're in the membership. So come join them. They're so fun. I love connecting with y'all there in real time. And yay, you found the vlog. Awesome. You're so welcome. Yay. Yes, generators. And Manny Jens, act on what's... I mean, everyone, act on what excites you because that's what you're meant to do. You're so welcome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate y'all. Yay! Yeah, have fun exploring the playlist and the blog. I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.